Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome back to mathematics, and we are solving A-level CI's paper Pure Maths 3, paper code 9709, variant 32, May-June 2025. So let's begin. Express 7 sin theta plus 24 cos theta in the form r cos theta minus alpha, where r is greater than 0 and alpha is between 0 and pi by 2. That means till 90-degree first quadrant. Give the value of alpha correct to 4 decimal places. So how do we solve such trigonometric questions? We have trigonometric identity or formula for angle cos A plus B and cos A minus B. So we use that formula. What is the formula? The formula says cos A minus B is equals to cos A cos B minus sin A plus sin A sin B. Okay, this is your formula. We will be using this in terms of theta minus alpha. So cos theta minus alpha would be cos theta cos alpha plus sin theta sin alpha. Now we know that this 7 sin theta plus 24 cos theta we need to write it in r cos theta minus alpha form. So we can write this to be equals to r times this cos theta minus alpha. That gives you cos theta cos alpha plus sin theta sin alpha. Now what we do normally is, actually you should be first expanding this, multiply r with both of them and we need to compare actually the sin theta term and cos theta term. So I am also writing this equation in the same format. First term I am writing to be sin theta 1 and then I am writing the cos theta 1. So it will give you r sin alpha sin theta plus r cos alpha cos theta. I just rewrite this equation after multiplying with r, but I have written it in the same format. We have this thing. So now what you can do is you can compare the sin theta terms together and cos theta terms. So it will give you this 7 is similar to, like we are comparing the coefficients. So the sin theta coefficients are 7 equals r sin alpha, and when we compare the coefficients of cos theta, that gives you 24 equals to r cos alpha. This is the method we follow in such questions. We use the formula of sin A plus B sin A minus B or cos A plus B cos A minus B. Then we multiply it with r and equate it with the given equation and compare the coefficients of sin theta cos theta or whatever is given there. Now when we get these two equations, how do we solve them? We solve them to find r and alpha. To find r, we square and add them, squaring and adding. And to find alpha, we divide 1 in 2, making it sin alpha over cos alpha. That should give you tan alpha. So divide them. Now doing them one by one, squaring and adding. So it will become, left hand side will become 7 square plus 24 square equals r square sine square alpha plus r square cos square alpha. Then we take r square common and we are left with sine square alpha plus cos square alpha equals 7 square plus 24 square. That gives you 49 plus 576. Why we square and add is actually to make this formula, because we know that sine square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. So this is the reason why we use squaring and adding. That eliminates sine and cos and we are only left with r square. That gives you to be equals to 625. Then r, when taking square root on both sides, gives you 25. Why I am not taking plus minus 25 is because already in the question it says r is greater than 0. So we don't take the negative value, we only take the positive value. So this is what we get our r to be. Now this is your working to find r. Now we need to find alpha. Divide these two equations. R sine alpha over r cos alpha is equals to 7 over 24 tan alpha. See, dividing them will eliminate r and we are left with only tan alpha, means we can now find out alpha. So alpha is tan inverse of 7 over 24. Now we have to treat this in degrees or radians. Is dependent on what your range is given to be in. It's given in radians, so we'll treat it in the radians. So tan inverse of 7 over 24 is 0.2838. This is your alpha. Okay, we have found these both. So now our part A is done. Now let's move on to part B. Part B says, hence solve the equation equals to 24.5 for the range 0 to pi. Now we need to go till 2 quadrants. Okay, what's hence word tells you that you have to use your workings of from the first part. Okay, this is the same format, but theta here is equals to 1 over 3x. Now we already proved that this thing is equals to r cos theta minus alpha, where we found r and theta r and alpha values. So let's use that first. It's given that 7 sine 1 by 3x plus 24 cos 1 by 3x is equals to 24.5. So that means this, where theta you have here to be 1 by 3x. As we know that this thing we already proved to be equals to r cos theta minus alpha. So let's use the theta, r and alpha value. So 25 cos 1 by 3x minus 0.2838. This is what hence means, that we have to use the previous working. So this is equals to 24.5. Okay, there are now many ways to solve it. Mostly people say that we can directly just divide 25 on the other side and do cos inverse. But what we actually do is we cannot take inverse, cos inverse, unless we have this angle and the range given to be equal. Okay, this thing and this thing, if it is not same, then we can't use it. Okay, let's do it actually, and let me explain this to you. For example, you first solve this. 0.2838 equals 24.5 over 25. Now what's next? Next is this step what I am talking about, that here it is 1 over 3x minus 0.2838, and your range is given to be x is between pi and 0. So you cannot do cos inverse. So first you need to multiply it with 1 over 3 and then subtract from it 0.2838. Although you can get sometimes correct answer otherwise also, but this is the standard way of doing it, so you should be doing it. So making this more obvious, so it would be 1 over 3x minus 0.2838 will become, then when you multiply by 1 by 3 and then subtract minus 0.2838, 0 stays, 0 becomes minus 0.2838. Okay, and your pi becomes first you multiply it by 1 by 3, so it becomes pi by 3, and then you subtract 0.2838, so it will become pi by 3 minus 0.2838. Okay, this is how your range is transformed from this to this. Now you can also write it in the decimal form. So this will become 0.7634. Okay, the rest is as it is. Now when you get the similar, now you can replace 1 over 3x minus 0.2838 as a. So it will now become cos a is equals to 24.5 over 25, where a is greater than 0.2838 and it is less than 0.7634. So now when you have the same thing at both places, now you can do cos inverse. So cos inverse of 24.5 over 25 gives you gives you alpha. Actually, you first find the basic angle, not the actual angle. So basic angle will turn out to be 0.2003. Now you know that your range is from some negative to some positive, and like it is nearly just till 180, because it was just till 180. So, and we are just like adding, subtracting some little smaller angles in it, so it doesn't make any major difference. So what your angle would be, whenever you have a negative angle, so you first find the clockwise angle that is negative. So this will be your alpha, and the second angle for the positive one will be this angle alpha. As your cos is also positive, so only the angles in the first and fourth quadrant. So your angle becomes, this angle will be 0.2003 and this becomes minus, because we are going clockwise, so it will be minus 0.2003. Now when you get these two angles and they lie in this range, now you can apply back your all the A values. So A is either minus 0.2003 or 0.2003. So you're again taking this back, that A was equals to 1 by 3x minus 0.2838 equals this. Now you will add to 0.2838 in these both angles. So that will give you, I'm not showing the addition, just directly writing. So when this will be shifted on right hand side, it will be 0.2838 minus 0.2003. That will give you 0.0835. And when it will be added in the positive angle, it will become 0.4841. Now also it must be multiplied with 3 to get x, so it will become 0.2505 and 1.4523. So these are your two final solutions for x. This thing might seem unnecessary, but this is the standard procedure of doing it. Okay. Secondly, why we are taking just angles, these two angles, is because we have cos positive. Cos positive is in first and fourth quadrant. Why we are taking the fourth one? Because our range is in the negative direction also. And yeah, one very important thing, if you don't do this whole working, you will never be able to identify that you have a negative angle also. Okay, so you will skip this up. But when you will do this working, you will come to know that there is one negative angle also that actually lies in this range, because it is less than minus 0.2838, that is minus 0.2003. So this is super important to do. Okay, otherwise you will skip some of the solutions and some of the marks. So this is the whole procedure of doing this trigonometric question. I hope you understand this all. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.